unless that breakdown on over the cap is incorrect, which I don't think it is, it's basically a 2-year contract with like a little bit of pain in year 3. That's basically what you're looking at. So, listen, it's a pretty good deal for the Chiefs. Not to say Trey Smith shouldn't have signed it. I mean, it's a life-changing amount of money.
Oh,
But the point is, yes, now I do think it does become about McDuffie.
It's that football show here on KC Sports over Tucker Franklin, hanging out with Matt Verderame on your Wednesday edition. And boy, howdy, do we have stuff to talk about on that football show. It was a busy weekend across the NFL and for the Kansas City Chiefs. But Matt, first off, how you doing? How you been?
I'm good. I keep changing locations. I'm keeping people honest. I am in my parents' call this room their office, which just seems like a loose interpretation of an office. It's where my dad puts down stuff about birds. So this is although his photography, not bad. But in any event, yeah. So going back to Illinois tomorrow, as long as the car doesn't overheat again. But yeah, otherwise good. Can't complain. Glad that when the Chiefs signed Trey Smith, I wasn't like in the middle of, I don't know, any other task, or that the Chiefs didn't do it at 10 p.m. on Monday night, which I was just waiting for that.
Right.
I was horrified to go to bed. I'm like, I feel like Veach is just waiting. Like they've agreed to terms. He's just going to release it at 2:45 a.m. like the old Sammy Watkins.
That was hilarious.
That was ridiculous. But yeah, all in all, things are good. Things all right with you over there in the Midwest?
Yeah, I mean it's hot, but like that's not a surprise. Yeah,
it's hotter for you guys. Yeah, it's like hot here, but I looked at the weather in Kansas City. My God, enjoy this week.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal. So that means that training camp is right around the corner. And look, I said this on the breaking news team stream that I did. Look, there might not be an I in team, but there is a me, and I pulled about 95% of that breaking news team.
I watched some of that, and you were the breaking news team for about 25 minutes, and then Kissel rolled in.
And I capped it off too because BJ had to dip. I capped it off. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, the breaking news team, you were failed by everybody. Yeah. I mean, Nate was getting ready for his ESPN Live or NFL Live debut.
True. I don't knock him for not being there.
Yeah, that seems fair enough. I was doing nothing. I was cleaning up the house we had stayed at. So my aunt, who was just the worst person alive, could use the house next. That doesn't even touch on it. I mean, bro, we could do a whole separate podcast about my mother's side of the family. Oh my God, those people. What a sideshow. What a sideshow. Just hey, you know what? Quick little sidebar. Here's what you need to know about my mom's side of the family. So my mom's one of 5. She's got 3 older brothers and a younger sister. The brother just immediately older than her, Richard, who's a hilarious person. Great guy. He worked with my dad forever and ever and ever, but on the side was a comedian and actually was like good enough that he did some like small places in New York City. Oh, nice. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
So he had this whole, whatever it was, 15 minutes of like, here's my routine. And we asked him what it was about. And he was like, oh, it's just about our family. And it's all true. Like it was all just actual stories about my mother's side of the family. Like he didn't have to reach or make it up or embellish. It was all just real stuff. Yeah. So that's always an interesting side of the that used to be great when we had Christmas Eve, my Uncle Hank's house every year as a kid. Like, I don't know what you call it in the Midwest. It's different. And people call it different things. I think even on the East Coast, like we had like a grab bag every year. Where like essentially you brought a gift and then like somebody would either take that gift or take from the pile of gifts. And like, then like the next person that went could steal or whatever. Some people
white elephant is what we call
white elephant. It's like white elephant or something. There's a bunch of different things. So one year, as like my cousin, who at the time was 10, so he was 5, he unwraps this little box of checkers, right? So he's all happy. He's 5, like it's checkers.
Yeah.
My uncle, who at that time was probably 55, was going last and took the checkers from him because he thought it would be funny. And my cousin just started crying, and his parents started screaming at my uncle. My uncle's like, "What? It was a joke. It was a joke." And they storm out of the house like all of Christmas Eve. Now, like for most families, that would have like ruined Christmas Eve. Nobody even blinked. It was just like, "All right, then let's go have dinner." And it was like, "Well, more lasagna for us." Like, and that was it.
Yeah,
He cried for an hour and a half on the ride home. Like, it was just like that was just Christmas Eve, 1998. Like
I
that's
love it.
every year, man. There was something every year. Um, so yes, in any event, cleaned up the house, and it, and Trey Smith signed. I jumped on a pod for 20 on my podcast, and we're good.
Yeah, I was very relieved that it happened when I was sitting right here at this desk ready for news to happen. That is something that does not typically happen, Matt. We were
Well,
talking
credit
before
to
this.
you for being ready.
That's true. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. It's kind of the motto I keep around
Sure.
here. I've had that thumbnail and I've had that title ready to rip for YouTube for a very long time. But let's get into it. Trey Smith does sign with Kansas City Chiefs, a record-setting 4-year deal for him. Gets a $70 million guaranteed, the most guarantees for a guard in the NFL, playing in the NFL. So shout out to Trey Smith for that. An incredible human side of the thing, a story that we can get into as well, with him being a 6th-round pick, his future in football in jeopardy about having blood clots. And I think he might have even had a little bit of a knee issue as well coming into the NFL, but he had some health issues. It falls to the 6th round. He's a talent that it should have been a 1st-round pick. Nevertheless, falls to the 6th round, doesn't make as much money as he could have made. Even when he was projected in the slide, he was more projected like a 3rd-round pick with the slide, right? And then he ends up falling even more to the 6th round. Chiefs pick him up, plays phenomenal his first 4 years in the NFL, gets a absolute bag, that one that he does deserve. First, I guess let's just start with the contract and the numbers, Matt. Thoughts on that? Do you think it makes sense for the Chiefs and the deal that they got?
I mean, we've talked a lot about this, and throughout, look, I'm wrong all the time. Just ask Josh Simmons, right? Who I was like, I got to take a tackle. Like, no, they took him.
Right. Yeah.
Not only did they take him, they were like, we've been targeting him. It's like, okay, great, thanks. Yeah, as it's behind the scenes for a month, you're like, we don't like the tackles. Anyway, listen, point is, I'm wrong all the time. Just ask my wife. I remember talking to you about this when we were like, look, it's going to be a market setting deal. It's going to be 23 to 24 million, 65 to 70 guaranteed. And that's exactly what it is. It is 4 years, 23 million a year, 92 million total, 70 million guaranteed. With a signing bonus of 17 million, as I was able to report on the old Twitter machine this afternoon. So, listen, this is an interesting contract in the sense that, and Albert Breer, who's my colleague at SI, was able to put out there, like, the cash flow is actually big early. Yes. And then it goes down next year, and then it kind of then it's like middles. It's like exactly 23, I believe. It's made 23 and a half at the last couple of years. So a lot of times the Chiefs will basically make it a base salary on like $1 million and then tack on the signing bonus if there's like a workout bonus or something.
Yeah.
And then that's it. But so like the first year usually is much, much, much lower. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this year. So it sounds like what the Chiefs want to do is eat a lot of the money this year, which would tell you what? Did they plan to be active in the next year or two, especially maybe next year? Well, why would they want to be able to save money for next year? Well, Trent McDuffie exists, and George Karlaftis exists, and Rashee Rice exists, and all those guys are going to be going into contract years next offseason. So very interesting the way they almost always structure their contracts the same way. Low in the first year, ascending. This contract, different. So that was something that made my antennas go off.
Also, a 4-year deal with, like, it's pretty much all of the money's guaranteed in the first 3. Like, all the guaranteed money is in the first 3 years. So it's practically a 3-year deal when you look at it. But again, good for Trey Smith's side of things, right? Because he wanted that 4-year deal because he's a June birthday. So he'll be finishing his age 29 season, going into his age 30 season when he hits free agency again. Those summer birthdays can get a little tricky when it comes to free agency and where it all falls. This from Spot Tracker, you talked about Albert Breer talked about the cash and the way that it all falls in terms of cap hits. and how this all falls. They save about $9.15 million according to Spot Track this season with not having Trey Smith on the tag and having him on this new contract. Next year goes up 24.25 million, then in 2027 it's 27.75, and then 27.75 again. As you mentioned, they kind of split it a little bit. But saving that money is interesting because of one thing. I think Nate Taylor brought this up on NFL Live. Crazy, it's like his first day in Bristol, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you want to do TV?" He talks about that on Only Weird Games. Like, he was not scheduled to do TV today, and they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, you're in the A block."
Yeah.
Crazy. Number two, they had about 10 million ish already in cap, and they save about $9 more million. So let's call it about $19-ish million. We never really know for sure, right? These are all estimates from all these websites over the cap, Spot Track. They're all estimates. Nate Taylor talked about another priority is Trent McDuffie, and I still think there's some meat on the bone when it comes to Trey Smith and his contract there. I mean, look, you guys we've had the breaking news team. We've had Only Weird Games talk about it a little bit. They dive into it a whole lot if you want a little bit there. But what I'm really interested about here too is maybe this is the nature of the beast of the NFL, right? What's next? What's next? What's next? You see this cap hit drop a little bit. And then, like, what was this? I was still doing the breaking news team when the contract of Sauce Gardner dropped, Matt. And I said, oh my goodness, Sauce Gardner, 4 years, $120.4 million for him. You see that extra savings and you're thinking, Trent McDuffie might need to be a priority sooner rather than later. Nate Taylor said it on Only Weird Games. He said it on NFL Live as well, is that now becomes a priority for the Chiefs. How much of this cap savings do you think that they are saying, like, okay, now that we have something, let's try to set something in place with Trent McDuffie?
I mean, a lot. I would wholeheartedly agree with Nate. And just to kind of hammer this home, and I guess maybe put a bow on it with Trey Smith, so his contract details are this. The first year of his contract is $14.25 million against the cap. It climbs to 24.25 in the second year. And then the last 2 years are each 27.75. Now, you might say, well, then that's ascending. Well, how is that different? Well, it's ascending at a much lesser rate than it normally does. Normally, the Chiefs' his first year would have been like $7 million, $8 million. Here's the interesting thing: the guaranteed money is all packed into the first 2 years.
Yeah,
every dime. Because I said the same thing that you were just saying. Like, I was like, oh, then it has to be fully guaranteed basically for 3 years. No, it's actually not. Like, so what they did, the signing bonus is fully guaranteed, $17 million. And that has to be by league rule, that in CBA rules, that has to be split evenly across the length of the contract. So it's $4.25 million in signing bonus every year. He is guaranteed that $17 million at the start. The rest of the contract is $53 million guaranteed in it. Okay, his base salary, the first 2 years combined, is a shade under $30 million. Those are fully guaranteed numbers. Okay, so he gets fully guaranteed. Now, in years 3 and 4, the only guaranteed money, signing bonus. That's it. That's the whole deal. Like, if they were to cut him before 2027, they eat 8.5, they save 19.25. If they cut him before his last year, they save 23.5 and they eat 4.25. Yeah. So they have, I mean, it's really, unless that breakdown on over the cap is incorrect, which I don't think it is, it's basically a 2-year contract with like a little bit of pain in year 3. That's basically what you're looking at. So, listen, it's a pretty good deal for the Chiefs. Not to say Trey Smith shouldn't have signed it. I mean, it's a life-changing amount of money. But the point is, yes, now I do think it does become about McDuffie. Because when you look at this, they have 3 guys that are young that are due in the next couple of years. And it's those 3 guys. We can talk about Jalen Watson and Brian Cook, but those guys are not going to get anywhere near the money that McDuffie's going to get. That if Rashee Rice is 2 massive years ahead of him, he could garner. And I think, there's a couple ways to look at this. If they were, let's just put Rice aside for a minute. Let's say they're looking at McDuffie and Karlaftis. Now, like, all right, we want to keep both of them. Well, which guy would you, assuming one of them might need to have a tag year, which one would you tag for a year and which one would you sign? Like, I mean, the tag is going to be cheaper for McDuffie
Correct.
because it goes by position and top five and all that. Like, it would be McDuffie. So, would you rather pay Karlaftis first because that's going to be a smaller contract and the smaller tag is McDuffie?
Yeah.
Or would you rather go, look, the price is just going to keep climbing, right? It's like the old thing in The Wire, like the price of the brick just keeps going up. Like,
Yeah.
do you just say, look, man, let's just pay this guy and then we'll deal with Karlaftis later? Yeah, it's going to be, I think the thing that's going to surprise some Chiefs fans is Karlaftis is going to be more expensive than people think he's going to be. Like, if he continues to play this way. Like, if he's a 10 sack per year guy, Greg Rousseau is a guy I always compare. He got 480.
Right. Yeah.
Karlaftis is better than Gregory Rousseau. And Rousseau's fine. He's a good player, but like Karlaftis is better. So what is he worth? Is he worth guess what? 492? Sound familiar? Like, is he worth that? Is he in a year? If he has 12 sacks this year, is he looking at 400? Like, do the Chiefs pay him? Because McDuffie, look, we'll get into all this even more, but I was on the radio on Tuesday with Alex Gold and Cody Tapp before all this stuff happened. And Cody asked me about McDuffie, like, what do you think he's going to cost? And I said $30 million. And Cody's reaction was to just make this sound. It's like, yeah, he's going to get 30. And then Sauce Gardner signed for $30 million like 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's going to get $30 million. Like, that's what's going to happen. He's better than Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get, like, it's going to happen. So, look, I think the Chiefs, the good news is, if you're a Chiefs fan, and then I promise I'll just shut the fuck up. But the good news is Kelsey at this point, look, he's not going to continue to make massive amounts of money here, even if he comes back.
Right.
The days of him making like $20 million a year are over. Okay. Juwan Taylor's getting cut after this season. They saved $20 million. Drew Tranquil, they could cut after this year and save $6 million. Mike Dana, they could cut after this year. I don't have it right in front of me, but he's a healthy savings as well. I'll pull it up real quick. But I remember, like, if they cut him, which if he plays like he did last year, they're going to cut him.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mike Dana, if they were to cut him, they'd save $9 million. There's a lot of ways. And also, oh, by the way, Mahomes' cap number next year is 78.2. I'm thinking they're probably going to restructure that.
Right.
You know, just a safe bet. And as we stand right now, last point, they have $20 million in cap space right now that they could roll over for next year.
Yep.
I got to think, if I'm looking at this thing, if I'm Brett Veach, I'm like, you know what? Next year is the time to get a lot of the books set up for the next 3-4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Cut some dead weight, you know, reorganize the books a little bit, sign some more of these young guys, like kind of like what the Bills did this year, where they signed a lot of their young talent.
Yeah.
I wonder if next year's that year for the Chiefs, because it feels like they're going to have the ability to do that if they want to.
So they picked up both the fifth-year options on both Karlaftis and McDuffie, which does buy them technically an extra year. The thing with McDuffie is you are able to negotiate an extension. Is it after the fourth year, right? Or after?
Oh, they can do it now.
After third year, then. Okay.
Yeah,
so
any player in the league, once they've played 3 years, they can extend it.
Perfect. So they have the ability to extend both of them right now. I wonder if it's if you're Trent McDuffie, you're probably not answering the phone, right? Like you want that price to keep going up. If you're the Chiefs, you are trying to do whatever you can to get him, and actually Jimmy Sexton's his agent. Fun fact, another CAA guy. You're doing whatever you can to get him on the phone and wine and dine him to get him to sign for the number, because the number is only going to keep going up with the contracts coming up in the secondary.
I would call him tonight and be, you want 4 and 125? Done.
Yeah.
Done. You want that? Cool. Great. Take the money. Look, I would be shocked if they don't pay McDuffie. The question is going to be Karlaftis.
100%.
Are they going to pay Karlaftis? That's the. But I'm going to tell you again, man. Like, how do you, in a weird way, how do you not, if he stays productive? Like, you're not going to have a Mena who probably passed this year, and you may not have Dana after this year, and FAU hasn't panned out. And oh, by the way, Chris Jones is in his early 30s. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna let Karlaftis walk out the door too? Really? Like, but again, this is why though. Like, so the Chiefs right now, as we sit here, so the cap this year is 279.2. Over
Mhm.
the cap, projecting it to be 295.5 next year, which I think is maybe even a little light. It might be around $300 million.
I agree. Yeah. They've always been
Right
kind of
now,
low on their projections. True,
yeah.
which is where to be, but yes.
The Vikings are hilariously 60.8 million over next year's projected cap.
Oh no.
The Chiefs are 60.4 million over the projected cap next year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say the Chiefs, a lot of things are going to be happening next offseason. A
It'll be a
lot
busy
of
one.
things are going to be happening.
Gonna be a busy one. But yeah, overall, I do think that, the nature of the beast here, we just move right on to, all right, what's up with Trent McDuffie? And I think that what kind of fed into it was the Sauce Gardner deal, right? That Sauce Gardner deal comes down and you're like, wait a second, Trent McDuffie's better than this guy. He's
Yeah.
better than JC Horn. It's not better than Pat Surtain. Shout out, actually, on a real note, to the Broncos for getting that deal done as early as they did, because now Pat Surtain is fifth highest paid, and he's the best corner by far in the National Football League.
He's the best corner in the league, and that's why you pay guys early.
100%.
That's why. I mean, that's great job by them. Great job by the Texans with Stingley.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Still not a great job by the Panthers with Horn.
No, that was not a good job. Not a great
JC
job.
Horn's still sitting there. Can you believe it? Can you believe they did this? Yeah. I mean, but listen, like, I'll make a point though too, and it's been made a million times, but maybe not today, and it deserves to be made on a day like today because of the signing of Smith.
Yeah.
This is why I don't care how much money he makes in an annual year. I don't care how much he makes overall. This is why Mahomes' contract is the biggest gift in sports. Because they can move money around like crazy. How much you want to bet next year they move $50 million of his contract or whatever the max will be, $40 million. Like they will absolutely do that. And he's going to be like, yeah, do it. Because we will stay competitive. We will stay good. Like, people missed the point when he signed that contract. And it was like, oh, 12 years, but $500 million. And it's like, no. Like, forget the $500 million. $500 million, by the time this guy retires, there's going to be a footnote. Okay.
Yes.
Like, it's the 12 years. Nobody in NFL history, to my knowledge, has ever signed a contract that's longer than 6 other than Mahomes.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure that no one ever in NFL history has signed for more than 6 years at a shot. And he signed for 12 years. Like, the length of the contract gives you massive flexibility. Because they're just going to rip the thing up anyway in 3 years, do it all over again. Just did a couple years ago. And so when you have that, you can sign all these guys. And that's why he did it. That was the reason. It wasn't like, oh, I just know for a fact I want to be here for 12 more years. He did it because they can sign guys. And so, to the Chiefs' credit, while sometimes the Chiefs will draw it out to the final minute and make you pull your hair out of your head a little bit, they also have always been very good under Brett Veach about keeping their stars. They have, name the guy who's gotten out of the building prematurely. I mean, you could argue Hill, but I'd argue that trade set them up for their 2 Super Bowl runs.
Yeah.
Like, who's the guy? Who got out of there that you're like, man, that was way too early and what a disaster? Name one guy they've let go that it's really come back to haunt them over the years. They don't exist.
No, even Tyreek. Like, Tyreek hasn't, like, he's been a good wide receiver, but it's not like he's propelled the Dolphins to be a contender. I mean, it's not like...
Right. And that trade allowed them to rebuild their entire defense.
Yes.
There is not a single guy that Brett Veach has let walk out the door that you'd be like, that was a bad move. The only guy I'd argue that they let out, and you're like, was Charvarius Ward. And I can tell you, they went to the mat to try to keep Charvarius Ward.
Yeah.
That was not a case of them just being like, whatever. Like, you want to go to the Niners. That's fine. Mm-hmm. They tried to sign him this offseason.
Right.
They tried to bring him back. So, like, they, to their credit, they have not let anybody out of that building that people were going nuts. You can't let that guy out. It's never happened. It has literally never happened since Veach has been the GM of the team.
And that's a really good point, because in the Dorsey era, you had guys getting paid years too late, maybe then sometimes even years too early. You're
DJ,
right.
yeah.
I mean, you had the timing was just not right with that front office. It seems like no matter what they were doing, if they were paying early, it wasn't paying it out, and if they were paying late, it wasn't paying it out either.
Right.
They ended up having to pay a whole lot more money because they didn't pay early. And paying Trey Smith, I don't know if this is necessarily early, right? Because they take it all the way down to the wire of the franchise tag, but like they got it done, and that's like that's been a trend in the Brett Veach era is just getting it done. I know the Chris Jones contract, people be like, hey, well, he sat out a game. Like, yeah, but that was an extreme circumstance, I think, when it comes to him. That was his
I'm
third year
also going to be fair.
contract.
That
He's
did a
dealing
lot
with
of
some.
reporting on that. That was not. I would not. Look. I know so there will be people that, oh, you're being a homer. Also, I have ripped the Chiefs of Kingdom come over the years. That was not on the Chiefs. That situation. Like I'm
No.
not saying everything was perfectly handled by the Chiefs. Like that's never the case. All you have to do is go back and look at Week 1 and look at Chris Jones flanked in the box during the game. And I mean that was insane. Like in the end, the Katz brothers walked out of that thing smelling like a rose because that was a disaster of a contract. Even Jones, what was it, a couple weeks ago, made the joke like, "Don't do what I did."
Right. Yes.
that was. Wasn't there? It all blends together now. Wasn't there like a charity event he was at where he was
At the
like
Ronald McDonald House, baby. He
Yeah,
pulled up to the
I thought it was Ronald
McDonald's.
McDonald. Like, dude, that thing was unbelievable. I remember texting people in the organization who are like just beside themselves. Like, it's just impossible. What's that? Like, you very like normally little inside baseball. Like, you text the source in the league. They're pretty busy people. Like, typically
Yeah.
speaking, like if you're close to the source, you might get a sentence or two back. There were times you get like a novel back. Like, this is what's happening. I don't understand what's happening. This is
Yeah.
like to the point where it was basically saying, like, please let the world know that this is what's happening. It was just, it was a very, I don't know that you could really get on the Chiefs for that one. As like,
No.
and there,
No.
look, there have been other
Right.
ones you can get on the Chiefs for. Like they've screwed around and taken forever to pay certain guys. Or like that, fine. That one, I don't know that they were necessarily in the wrong for why they put it
No.
the way they did.
No. There's a lot of external variables to take into
Yeah,
consideration
there
there
really
for
were.
that one.
That was something special.
That was crazy. What a time that offseason was when he just pulls up to a Ronald McDonald House after not seeing Chris Jones at training camp at all, and all of a sudden he's just at a Ronald McDonald House. You're like, wait a second, hang on. Having a scrum outside the McDonald's. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Going back to your point about Mahomes' contract, technically the contract is he's a free agent in 2032. But there is
I'm
a
sure he'll
potential.
see the market.
Right, I'm right. There's a potential out in 2028 that they have, so that's probably like the mark where they're going to be like, all right, let's rip this up and do it again, type of deal. But we'll see how that pans out. Also on Spot Track, I was looking at the secondary contracts. They put Sauce Gardner's contract to end in year 3030 instead of 2030, and I think that is very funny. They said no, he gets an extra 4 years plus 1,000 and 5 years for Sauce Gardner playing for the New York Jets. That is actually hell. I think that 1,005 is actually hell. That's what that is.
If I was Sauce, I would have held out for 50 a year.
I think you gotta get more than what he got.
Yeah, I tweeted when Garrett Wilson's contract came out. I was like, he should like basically sue for damages.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, I'm not this. No, I'm sorry. No.
To be fair, that's a lot more than I'd pay for Garrett Wilson. But Garrett Wilson has said, "Hey, if you want me to play for the Jets, you're gonna have to."
There's a toll to be paid.
Right, yeah.
There's a tax. Yeah. Listen, the Jets.
Jets are the Jets.
The Garrett
man.
Wilson contract. Everybody's talking about the Sauce Gardner contract. Well, what about Rashee Rice for Garrett Wilson's contract in a couple of years? Like that's going to start to factor into the market, right? Like if Rice becomes what he looked like he was going to be in the first 3 games of last year, you're going to have a real good, compelling argument that he's at least as good as Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
And of course, then when the money goes up, like, so we've seen, so Garrett Wilson got how much per year?
Let me see. I've got a 4 year for 130. So that's
33.
33. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and then you got to factor in the caps going up. Yeah, if Rice has a good couple of years, Rice is probably looking at like 35 mil plus a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like that's just reality. And I know that people like they hear those numbers and go crazy, but like that's the reason that's happening. Keep in mind, it's all about how much of the cap percentage the contracts are.
Correct.
That's what matters. Like so, okay, let's just live in a world where 10 years ago, I have no idea if this is accurate. Like 10 years ago, the salary cap was 150 million. If you signed a guy for 15 million a year, that's 10% of your cap, right? Like 15 million, 10% of 150. Well, let's say the cap next year is 300 mil and they sign Rashee Rice to 30 million a year. That's the same thing cap wise.
Yes.
Right. So like you hear that and go, oh my God. Like, well, no, it's the same. Like it's all about cap percentage. It's all about the cap percentage. And when these teams are signing these guys, they know the cap's going up.
Mm-hmm.
They know it's going up every.
Yeah.
I mean, by the end of this decade, that cap's gonna be $400 million, and they know it. So they're like, yeah, all right, sure, man. You know, we'll reset the market. Like, cool. But yes, the Jets, those contracts both impact Kansas City.
Yeah.
The Gardner one probably more directly, but the Wilson one, again, if Rice continues to become the player we think he's going to become, that's going to be factored in as like kind of a, hey, well, I'm getting paid more than this. So, you know, factor all that in.
Garrett Wilson becomes the 5th highest paid receiver in terms of average salary and also value, interesting enough. Amon St. Brown.
Chase, Jefferson. I should look this. I should know this off the top of my head.
CD Lamb is 3. DK is 4.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Who's 4?
DK Metcalf.
Isn't he getting $30 million a year?
33 is what he's getting. Garrett Wilson's getting 32.5.
Okay. I thought he was getting 30. Okay. Yeah. And DK's getting his 3rd contract, so DK's rolling.
Yeah, DK's sitting pretty. For,
he's like, listen, I got to go play at the quarterbacks in Pittsburgh. Price has gone up.
He said, I gotta turn that price up. Then AJ Brown actually, in terms of APY, is 6 with 32, and then Amon-Ra is 30 million, and then Tyreek after that. So, there's your about APY. We'll see where Rashee Rice will slot into that. A lot of stuff did actually happen over the weekend in the NFL. We got our quick hitter segment coming up, and you know what? Let's go ahead and hit break now, and then when we come back, we'll do some quick hitters. Chiefs.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
I'm BJ Kissel, founder and CEO of KC Sports Network. Emprise Bank has been with us from the beginning. They were our first network partner, and they believed in the vision of what we were building from the start. I can't speak to any other banks or companies and how they operate, but I can tell you from personal experience and based on the growth of the network you're listening to right now, that if you have banking needs, call our friends at Emprise Bank. We've worked with so many great people there over the years, from Vicky and Aggie to Andrea, Lori, Jackie, Deb, and Aaron, and not to mention so many others that not just supported KC Sports Network, but supported our KCSN Foundation as well. But the best thing that I know is that if I have a question or a problem, no matter how dumb the question is, I know who I'm going to call and who I'm going to talk to. And I know that I'm getting an answer from someone that I can trust. And I know that person is there to help us. That's why Emprise Bank has always been and continues to be our partner in Possible. And they can be yours too. You just have to reach out. If you have a banking need, whether it's business or personal, hit me up. I will connect you directly with the same people that have helped us build KCSN. And that's our friends at Emprise Bank.
Folks, there's nothing that beats relaxing on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And there's no simpler way to get in on the action than by downloading the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It's crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part, Pick 6 is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, Only with Pick 6 from DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos. All right, time for quick hitters. Matt, this one happened on Friday. The release of the episode, we didn't get to talk about this, or maybe we did talk about it, actually, now that I remember. I don't think we did. Bears extended Ryan Poles through 2029. They gave him a little bit of an extension there. I will say, good for Ryan Poles. The Bears have won 15 games in his tenure.
Yeah, like, why? I mean, did I miss something?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think so.
He's been there for 3 years.
3 years, okay.
For 3 years. He was hired in January 2022.
Yep.
They went 3-14.
Mm-hmm.
They then had another year where they went. God, I'm trying to remember because last year they were 5-12. She said, how many wins does he have?
I believe it's 15.
Okay, so I mean, the Chicago Bears, not exactly a powerhouse. And yet, I mean, he's, like I said, 3 years. Last year, 5-12. Year before that, 7-10. 15 wins, 3-14. So he's a crisp 15-36.
With 2 last place finishes, by the way.
Yeah, and the Bears are awesome. Sign him up for more. Like, why? Like, what is the point? What was he? Was he in a great position to negotiate? Like, hey, it could have been worse. Could have won 10 games. Yeah, that's the point. That is a point. The guy before you signed Mike Glennon. So, yeah, that's possible.
It's a very good point.
I mean, I just don't understand. Like, what was the argument there? Listen,
yeah, was he, like, running out of, like, that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, was he on the last year of a deal and they're like, well, he's got to see this through?
Yeah, I mean, like, were they worried he was going to, like, jump ship?
Maybe.
I don't know, man. Listen, like, the Bears are one of these teams. On paper, they're better. They brought in Joe Tooney and they brought in Jonah Jackson and they brought in
every year they do this.
Right. That's what I was going to say. It's like, okay, go win a game.
Yeah.
Like, here's the problem. Everybody talks about all the stuff they did. Caleb Williams was sacked 68 times last year.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, like, I watched a lot of Caleb Williams last year. I'm not saying that the offensive line was good because it definitely was not good.
Right.
He was the reason for about half of those sacks. Because he just doesn't unload the football. So, yeah, like, sure, this is all great unless Caleb Williams stinks. And if Caleb Williams isn't any good, then guess what? Ryan Poles isn't good, neither is Ben Johnson. So, none of this matters if Caleb Williams isn't good.
100%. All right, next story here. Happy trails. Ndamukong Suh, he retired after 13 years in the NFL. What is your favorite Ndamukong Suh memory? Man. Was it when he stomped on that dude's nuts? That was kind of funny.
He did stomp on people occasionally. Yeah.
What about that dude's neck he stomped on? That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it. A lot of the plays I think about with him are like the dirty plays.
It is, isn't it? He's a good football. He's a fine football player. People forget Heisman finalist in Ndamukong Suh.
Oh, he was a great player. Listen, I mean,
phenomenal.
Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time first team All-Pro, 2-time second team All-Pro, went to 5 Pro Bowls, 71.5 career sacks. Like, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame player, but he's the Hall very good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't see him and think like, oh, he's in the Hall. But I think I'll tell you what, though, like, he's going to have a case. He made the All-Decade team. And if you make the All-Decade team, you usually get in. But his career is almost identical to Fletcher Cox's career.
Oh.
Almost identical. Fletcher Cox has 1.5 fewer sacks, 1 more Pro Bowl, 1 less All-Pro team. Like, is Fletcher Cox a Hall of Famer?
I wouldn't necessarily think that off the top of my head, truthfully.
Again, I think he's the Hall of very good. As I'm looking at his page, by the way, I'm looking at the MMQB pod with Connor and Albert. I'm offended because I see Connor and Albert all the time. And I don't need more Connor and Albert in my life. Just like how they feel, I'm sure when they go and I'm on there. It's the last thing you're going to see. It's bringing down the ratings of that their website. But yeah, I don't know. Great career though. Great career.
No, drafted number 2 overall in 2010. I don't know if I don't know if his career necessarily lived up to the number 2 overall billing and draft pick of him, but I do think that he, as you mentioned, very good. I think that he is a very good football player and one of those guys that going to be very tough to Hall of very good, I think is a good way to put him.
Yeah. Very good.
Right. On some serious side of things, Browns second-round rookie Quinshon Judkins was arrested on misdemeanor domestic violence charges. Don't need to have a take on that. Obviously, not good.
The details that are alleged are not pretty.
They're not good. I think there's a video with it too. I thought that I saw, but could have been obviously something else as well. I will say this is the second time or the second year in a row that a Browns second round pick has been arrested before the season started.
Well done by the Browns. I mean, listen, and from just a purely football perspective, Judkins, we talked about it going to the draft. I thought it was a guy that Chiefs might take. I thought, really talented kid, fits what they do offensively, but man, what are you doing? Just like now on a just a personal, what if any of the alleged stuff is true, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? Secondly, I got to tell you, if you're the Browns, if the allegations are true, what do you do? I mean, you're gonna just be like, whatever, just bring him in. It's not like you got a speeding ticket here.
Right. Here's the thing, too. He's one of 2 second-round picks that are already signed, and there's 30 unsigned second-round picks.
No, he's not signed. The linebacker signed that.
Oh, the linebacker signed. Okay. I know they had 2 second-round picks. Okay.
So so that's kind of the crazy thing. So they signed Schlesinger, and then Higgins to Houston is signed.
Yeah.
The next guy up on the queue, so to speak, pick number 35, is Nick Emenwari, the safety out of South Carolina who went to the Seahawks. Mm-hmm. And I believe Judkins is next. Now, Judkins is just going to be put in a corner, essentially, because, what do you do with this?
Right.
Let everything play out. But, man, everybody else, everybody's unsigned because all these agents are going, cool. The Texans want to guarantee Jaden Higgins' contract fully? Awesome. I want my guy fully guaranteed. And now you're getting a good old-fashioned standoff here where all these teams are going to not collude and not tell each other not to sign these guys to fully guaranteed contracts. And the agents are screaming, hold the line, like Mel Gibson in The Patriot. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
It is going to be interesting. It's a record number of unsigned second-round picks going on. I believe Shamar Stewart still isn't signed either. And reports today out of SEC Media Day is that
There's a hilarious report.
He's at Texas A&M. He's actively practicing with Texas A&M. Crazy. It's insane.
Listen, I would rank the odds of him not signing with the Bengals and going into the 2026 draft is close to 0.
Yeah.
I would also say that this has gotten to a point with the Bengals. This is legitimately embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the guy lives down in Texas and that's why he's practicing down there. That makes sense. But I got to tell you, you're the Bengals. You are reaching a point here where, hey guys, figure it out. Get him in there. But this shouldn't be that difficult. This is insanity. There is no need for this to be as difficult as it is. The rookie wage scale came in and every team was great, this is easy. And the Bengals were like, watch this. You think it's easy? The hell it is. Watch what we do. And here we are.
Incredible. I'm sure we'll dive into more of the Bengals because they're just a absolute laughing stock. I don't think they're second round picks signed either, right? Obviously, with the way that everything else has gone, with the trending of directions that we're just talking about.
He's one of the 30 guys not signed, so
awesome. They're in a great spot.
They're just really just a great job by them. Great. It's really off to a flying start there this year with a coordinator that's not Lou Anarumo. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. Also, that means Omar Norman Lott's not signed for the Chiefs either. So
he's not. And by the way, if you don't have a contract, you're not allowed to participate. This isn't OTAs. So just for the record, Like, OTAs, you have that option. You don't have that option. If you're not under contract to training camp, you're not allowed to participate.
Which makes a lot of sense because now
safety,
it's your job. Yep. All right, top 100 update before we wrap up here. Got a couple more stories. Where did we leave off last? We left off with Trent McDuffie being at 81, correct?
We did, yes.
Okay, so we are at 80. Numbers 80 to 71. Boy, howdy, there have been some absolute doozies in here. Rashawn Gary down 30 spots from last year, but he was number 80. He's better than Trent McDuffie. Dak Prescott.
That I saw that. I was dying.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Down 63 spots from last year. He comes in at 79 this year.
He was 16th last year.
What the hell?
Like, who in God's name was like, he's the 16th best player in the NFL?
Yeah, hang on a second.
Quarterback ranking? Like, what?
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't even put that piece together in my head. Also falling a large amount of spots. Khalil Mack down 49 spots to 78. He apparently is better than both Trent McDuffie and Creed Humphrey.
I'm sure if the Chargers offered him for one of those two players, that Brett Veach would make that trade. I'm sure that's what would happen.
Right.
Sure. What pick do you want?
The last one that has come out is T. Higgins at 77. This is actually, I believe, his first time on or at least last year he wasn't on the list. I can't imagine a year before that with him being on it, but last year it wasn't on the list. Him clocking in at 77, 12 games, 73 catches, 911 yards last year for the wide receiver 2 for the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Khalil Mack one is objectively hilarious.
It's so bad, dude.
I'm telling you right now, Jalen Ramsey's going to be 40th on this list. You mark my words.
Oh, yeah. He's going to come in super high. So Khalil Mack did play 16 games last year. Good for him. Give him a big round of applause for getting out there for 16 games. 6 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. Yep. 15 quarterback hits, 9 pass defense, 2 forced fumbles, 6 tackles for loss, 39 total tackles.
Basically, he had like a month's worth of Carl Loftus' production for quarterback hits and tackles for loss. Great. So, I mean, it's huge.
And so he is the 78th best player in the NFL. Congratulations to them. A quick one here. Sony is going to be
on the list.
Oh, he will be. He's
just, what the Auto Care has played 7 years. Just toss him on there. Maybe like JJ Watt, like slot him in next to TJ Watt. Like, just an honorific.
Frank Ragnow comes in at 7.
Unbelievable. Also,
that'd be so funny. Sony was going to be the new headset provider of the NFL. They're working on some proprietary headsets for the coaches. That's good for them. It was announced today.
I don't care, but yeah, I did see that.
Yeah. Look, this quick hitter is just for the sake of being informed. That's all. That's what I'm doing. I'm like the paper boy standing outside on the corner, telling you what the headlines are. That's what my role is here. Maybe I need to get a little newsy hat for this segment to throw it on there. All right, let's hit 2 more here. Scary Terry McLaurin, not very happy with his contract situation in DC. He doesn't know if he's going to report to training camp. And frankly, I'd be pretty upset too if they gave all this money to a lot of outside people. And then Deebo Samuel, one of those guys, looks like he has had a lot of food. And he looks a little bit like he's gained extra pounds. I'd be a little frustrated too if I was old Scary Terry.
I wasn't going to say it, but
he looks a little chunky. He looks like he's carrying extra pounds.
Deebo was taking a lot of steps to make turns in some of the routes I saw at OTA. Let's just put it that way, okay? The brakes don't work quite like they used to. No. If I'm Terry McLaurin, I'll be, guys, you know what? Why don't you watch Deebo be wide receiver 1 this summer, and then let me know when you're going to pay me?
Yeah.
Also, like, what fucking excuse do they have not to pay Terry McLaurin?
He's been back on that franchise for so many years, too. He's been the best player on that team.
Daniels is on a rookie deal for 4 more years. Like, wait, who are you paying? Mm-hmm. Who's getting paid on this team? Laramie Tunzel? Like, what are they doing? Like, that guy's not going to pay that guy? Like, give Terry McLaurin $40 million a year and call it good.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, there's not literally. I'm going to look it up right now before we go to our power rankings. We don't even know what the subject is going to be.
We know.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. Okay, just this year, here are the guys with cap hits of more than $12 million. Deron Payne, Terry McLaurin, Laramie Tunzel, Marshawn Lattimore, Frankie Aluvo. Like,
What are we doing?
Like, you can't afford Terry McLaurin moving forward?
Yeah.
I mean, and this is it, by the way, for McLaurin's contract. Tunzel and Lattimore next year, if they cut them both, they'd save $40 million without an ounce of dead money. I think it's okay, guys. You can do it. I really think it's going to be okay. I understand sometimes the teams take a hard line. You're paying no one. I think you can pay Terry McLaurin. It's be all right.
Last one that I have here for the quick hitters. New uniforms for the Bucks and the Chargers. Our speculation about the Bucks uniform was correct. It was their all white uniform, all white creamsicle, very clean. I do very much love that one. Bucks get two thumbs up, A+. The Chargers, not quite. They announced 2 new uniforms and light blue pants. They have their yellow. What are they calling that one? Charger Power? Are they calling these Charger Power?
I think Savannah Bananas, yes.
They do look like the Savannah. That's a good call. They look like the Savannah Bananas. The navy blues are good. I think the navy blues could be better if they wore white pants with them. I'm not a big monochrome fan.
I agree,
especially in football. So I think if they went the navy with the white pants, that would be 1,000 out of 10. I still think that the navies are the way better set in this bunch.
No question. Navies
no pun
are
intended.
Nice. The Chargers also have 39 uniforms now. Listen, I like the navies a lot, but I said this to you off air and I'll say it here. At what point does it kind of take away from the fact you have great uniforms? You have 9 of them. I mean, It's kind of like the guy who wins the March Madness pool. And you're like, yeah, bro, you filled out 12 brackets.
Yes.
Like, you're not exactly Nostradamus over there. The Chargers, I feel like, have a great uniform. Typically, like, no matter what they do, like, their uniforms have always been really nice.
Yeah.
Pick, like, 3 of them. You know, like, we don't need a new jersey reveal every month.
Right.
We're good. But the Buccaneers ones are awesome. The Buccaneers just have to go back.
I agree.
Like, let's just, like, and it's not that I don't like the new ones. Like, the new ones are fine, but, like, those creamsicle uniforms are just, like, to me, honest to God, the Houston Texans, I don't dislike their uniforms necessarily, but, like, I would just be petitioning the Tennessee Titans every year. Like, let us wear the Houston Oilers uniforms full time.
Yeah.
Let us just become the Houston Oilers again. Like, those
that makes too much sense. I like the pewter a little bit because that's kind of the Bucks that I grew up with, right? Were the pewter ones, the John Lynch, that kind of era, the Warren Sapp. So I enjoy that they have the pewter now with it. So I think they should obviously still have like the creamsicles. They're so nice, but like maybe their throwbacks are actually the pewters. Maybe their full-time uniforms are the creamsicles and the pewters are like their throwback that they mix in every once in a while. I don't know. But I do think that they have some really good uniforms. All right, that's going to do it for quick hitters. I've got a couple of options for power rankings. If you want to do a quick power ranking, I've found 3 random topics from a random topic generator, and I want to get your thoughts. All right.
Okay.
First off, cheeses.
Okay. I do like cheese.
Second, yeah. I mean, there's a lot
of
places.
I got a house in Wisconsin. I like cheeses.
We got a lot of places we can go at. Number 2, hotels.
That could be interesting.
That could be interesting. Okay. Number 3, stadiums.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a sports podcast, kind of. Let's go stadiums.
All right, stadiums. Not my usual prep for this, but start at number 5. I guess everyone has got a different parameter for power ranking stadiums. What comes to your head first? Power ranking stadiums, Matt. Number 5 for you.
Tradition.
Okay.
I like tradition. Are we? I'm assuming keeping this to football.
Not necessarily, but we can. Okay. Do you want to keep it to football? We can keep it to football if you'd like.
Let's. It's probably best. Otherwise, it's going to be chaos.
All right, football stadiums.
Okay. I'll lead off here. Number 5. I'm just thinking in my head. I know 1 and 2 right off the bat. I know what they're going to be. If you're into like the new age stadium, SoFi is crazy. I've been to SoFi.
Yeah. That's a good one.
I'll say that I want to say Heinz Field, but Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh.
I'm putting down Heinz Field.
That's fine. Please do. Great venue. Just picturesque. Great fans. It's loud. So it's a home field advantage, which should be the other thing I would look at. Like, it's got to be a home field advantage. I am not putting Miami on here. Like, it's got to be a home field advantage. It actually has to matter.
That's good. I do like that one. I've not been to that to Heinz Field over there, but Three River Stadium too. Like they do have, Pittsburgh does it really well when it comes to their sporting stadiums. I've been to the Pirates baseball field. That stadium's incredible. That's my number one baseball
amazing.
stadium.
Yeah.
That's a very good one. All right, number 5 for me. Boy, howdy, this is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go with I think that's too low for this one. Wow, I'm having a real tough time coming up slotting these ones in. I think I'm gonna go with a college stadium, and at number 5 I'm gonna put I believe it's called Folsom Field in Colorado. The environment of that of Folsom Field out there in Colorado with the mountains and everything. This is obviously pre-Dion. Like, obviously Colorado football tradition is not necessarily high, but the setting in the location of that in Boulder, beautiful. Boulder's a beautiful city, and having the atmosphere around it, old school looking bowl. I'm going to put Folsom Field at number 5.
Man, all right, we're including college football. Then I gotta think about this.
Well, it is football,
It is football. I didn't even think about college football, but I mean now Pittsburgh's gonna have to take a ride here. All right, so if we're gonna include college football, which is fine, it is football. All right, so then here for number 5, then give me Tiger Stadium, LSU.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so let's cross out Pittsburgh. So give me Tiger Stadium 5, number 4, Happy Valley, Penn State.
Yep. It's a good one. That is a good one. Great atmosphere there. The whiteout is incredible. I think they did a really good job.
1,000 people, it's not.
So at number 4 for me, I'm going to go Neyland Stadium. I think that's one in Tennessee. That stadium itself is just massive. What college does so much differently than like the NFL is they just build absolutely massive cathedrals of football. And Neyland Stadium is one of those. I'm going to put that at number 4. I don't know if well, that's not true. I'm going to have some pro ones on here, but I do think that like there's going to be more pro coming up, I will say.
Okay. Number 3 for me is Arrowhead.
That's also what I have. Yeah.
So Arrowhead to me is just, look, I mean, it's not even just being a Chiefs fan. It's an iconic stadium. Like, that's one of the things for me too. Like, when you see Tiger Stadium, when you see Happy Valley, when you see Arrowhead, you know it's Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
If you see a picture of any angle of Arrowhead Stadium, you immediately, if you're a football fan, it's Arrowhead. And obviously, there's tradition there. They've won a lot now there, and there's all these things, which that was not the case a decade ago. They had won nothing there, but now they've won so much. And I've been to a lot of stadiums. I'm fortunate to cover the league and go to there are very few things like Arrowhead Stadium. Arrowhead is an experience unto itself. The volume, the smells outside with all the barbecue. I mean, Arrowhead is just a very unique venue. So I'll go 3 Arrowhead Stadium.
I'm going to make an edit to my list. I also have Arrowhead Stadium at 3 for everything that you have. At number 5, since we're changing our number 5s, I'm actually going to put the Sun Bowl in El Paso. That one is like built into the side of a mountain, which is also same. Everything I basically said about Boulder and everything goes with the Sun Bowl as well. I think that's just a little bit cooler venue. Number 3 for me is Arrowhead. Unbiased in terms of just like when it comes to like that's my favorite football team I root for, right? It's a pretty sick stadium. One of the things I like about Arrowhead is it's built so long ago, but like every seat in the house is a good seat. Like, it doesn't matter if you're sitting all the way up in the upper deck in the last row, you get a good seat. That's what I like about it. Number 2 for you, Matt.
Man, there's like 3 stadiums in my head that I'm like, how do you not have one of these on the list? I might just
Yeah.
like do it. Lambeau Field. I feel like Lambeau Field has to be on the list. It's just I've been there. It's an amazing setting. There's so much history to it. It's another stadium. Like you turn it on, like it just jumps off the TV. And like when you're there, you can feel the history of the NFL. You can feel the history of football. And it's just too. If you've ever been to Green Bay, it's so unique. It's just such an experience. So for me, yeah, it's it's gotta be number 2.
I got the LA Coliseum at number 2. Again, another one that has a lot of football history added. My top 2 do have a lot of football history with them. LA Coliseum obviously plays home to college football as well as, it had some Super Bowls, I believe, in some points too, as well. So it has a lot of football history on it too. It's one of those iconic stadiums. So I got to put the LA Coliseum and I'm sure it's going to be used too for when the Olympics come to the United States. They're going to be all over that sucker.
Oh God, yeah. So number 1, I'm going to put my honorable mention out there, which I feel like needs to be higher, but it's just Notre Dame Stadium.
For sure.
Yes. I almost feel gross not putting it on the top 5, but I'll put it as an honorable mention. Number 1 for me is easy. It's the Rose Bowl.
That's what I have as well.
The Rose Bowl's just that is on my bucket. I've never been there as a bucket list thing for me. I have to go to the Rose Bowl. That is the setting, the history, what the game is like. That if you're talking about football and you're talking about collegiate pro, because there's been Super Bowls there too.
Yeah. Yes.
Many. The Rose Bowl is the height of football.
I agree. It's like the Mecca, right? You talk about the Mecca of basketball is obviously Madison Square Garden. I feel like when it comes to football, like that is when I see the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, I'm like, this is it. Like this is football. So I had the Rose Bowl at 1. That's immediately when we were talking about stadiums. I was like, all right, it's the Rose Bowl, and I had to work kind of from there. But yeah, I think that's a fun little flash power rankings. I guess neither of us had any prep time. It was all right off the dome. The power rankings there. So I'll run through them here real quick. So because we had a little bit of changes, so everyone's on the same page. Obviously, I'll tweet out the graphic. For me, number 5, the Sun Bowl. Number 4, Neyland Stadium. Number 3, Arrowhead Stadium. Number 2, the LA Coliseum. Number 1, the Rose Bowl. For Matt, the number 5 for you, Tiger Stadium for LSU. Number 4, Happy Valley, great stadium. Number 3, Arrowhead. Number 2, Lambeau Field. And number 1, the Rose Bowl. I'm going to be curious to see how people react to this. I don't have Lambeau Field on my list, but you do. I'm curious to see how people vote on this one.
Well, we have Arrowhead on there for both of us, so people probably be right.
Yeah, we got it in the same spot, too. People will be pissed we probably only put it at 3. They're like, how come it's not number 1?
Yeah. Somebody's going to be like, where's Mizzou's stadium? Out in the garbage.
Right. Hey, now they're renovating it.
I'm just kidding. I couldn't think anything about Mizzou's stadium. Nothing. I could think it's nice and terrible. Kansas, they're renovating it, right? Like they're putting
the bird cage up for the old Jayhawks. But all right, that's gonna do it for this Wednesday edition of That Football Show. For Matt Verderame, I'm Tucker Franklin. We'll catch you guys on Friday. We'll have more for you. We'll also have a little bit of a schedule change coming up as camp starts as well. Talked about it on the breaking news team stream, but we'll be moving to Mondays and Fridays. We'll let you know when that happens. We'll obviously keep you posted on socials as well when we do make that change. But that's going to do it. Thank you to our sponsors, Ben Holiday, Bottled and Bond Bourbon Holiday Distillery. We will catch you guys next time. We'll see you.